120 mm regimental mortar model 1938, PM38, is a Soviet mortar of 120 mm caliber. It is a smoothbore rigid system with a fictitious triangle scheme. It was developed in the Design Bureau under the guidance of B.I. Shavarin. In 1937, the Artillery Committee of the Main Artillery Administration (GAU) began research work in the field of mortar weapons, during which, in early 1938, a mortar weapon system with tactical and technical characteristics for 50 mm, 82 mm, and 120 mm mortars was included in the plan for equipping the Red Army with combat equipment. The first 500 mortars were delivered in 1939 and 2115 in 1940. As of January 1, 1941, there were 2,115 mortars accounted for by the GAU of the Red Army, of which 15 required repair. As of June 1, 1941, the Red Army had approximately 3,120 mm mortars in service. As of June 22, 1941, the Red Army had about 3,820 mm mortars in service. According to the pre-war regulations of 1941, each infantry regiment of the Red Army was allocated for 120 mm mortars. By the end of the war, according to the 1945 regulations, their number was increased to 6. On August 20, 1941, the USSR State Defense Committee revised the mortar production plans and decided to increase the output of mortars of all types. The industry was instructed to manufacture 169 pieces of 120 mm mortars from the beginning of September to the end of December 1941. The production of 120 mm mortars was established in Besieged Leningrad. The produced mortars were used not only by the forces of the Leningrad front but also on other fronts. In November 1941, 220 units of 120 mm mortars were sent from Leningrad to Moscow and were used during the Battle of Moscow, while another 25 units were sent to the troops of the Fokhov front. Moreover, the production of 120 mm regimental mortars and their corresponding 120 mm mortar shells was established at the Khabarovsk factory Dulselmash. In late August 1941, the design team was tasked with developing a more technological variant of the mortar. The development involved a design group led by B.I. Shavarin, 20 people, as well as an initiative group of designers, G.D. Shirinin, V.I. Lukander, S.A.B. Dobrinsky, I.G. Sokolov, S.P. Vanin. As a result, the 120 mm regimental mortar model of 1941 was developed, simplified and without wheeled mobility. In 1942, the Red Army began the creation of special divisional and corps groups for counter-mortar warfare, which included reconnaissance units, 120 mm mortar units, and 122 mm artillery guns, that were used to destroy the enemy's 81 mm and 105 mm mortars at their firing positions. In 1943, the design team of the production plant, led by A. Kotov, carried out a modernization of the design, and the 120 mm regimental mortar of the 1943 model was adopted into service.